Are the cameras rolling? Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I get a little crazy when I'm around fabric, and I know that some of you are just the same because I've gone shopping with you at quilt stores, so you'll have to forgive me. So maybe we should start over. My name is Bradshaw, and I'm going to present a little technique workshop on how to make these wonderful quilted postcards. It's not an original idea. My friend May Wong showed me, and I think I've made about 25 or 30 of them. I can't stop making them. They're so much fun to send. And you'll need a few things to do this. One thing is you'll need a supply of scraps. Lots of scraps, lots of colorful scraps actually. You're also going to be needing some batting scraps, and I have cut this to 4 inches, and I've made it long because I'm lazy, and I can just put all of my scraps on here at one time and then cut it to the 6-inch length, and I have several at one time. Works pretty well. You're also going to need these comic strip boards. The comic book boards come in a couple of different sizes, many actually. And I prefer the 7.5 by 10.5 because I can get 2 postcards with it, and I have a little left over at the end for something else that I make that I will show you later. Okay, so we've talked about that. Okay, you're going to need a rubber stamp, and you're going to need a stamp pad. Now this is my favorite postcard stamp. I really like it, and I looked online and I couldn't find it anymore. But there is another smaller one that's really cute. It says postcard in fancy letters, and that would work just as well. So, and you need a stamp pad, and if you do get the larger one, you will need a large stamp pad. They do, however, have this same design in a cling design, and it fits on an acrylic block, and you would have to attach it, but they say it's easy to do, and then it comes off and you can use the block for something else, or you can put it on your own wooden block. So anyway, we've talked about that. And let's see, it's nice to have steam-a-seam. That's a fusible product that I really like. I have tried using the Pellin fusible product, and what happened with that is that everything stuck immediately and you couldn't pick it up. Now I'm going to show you. I've attached it already to a pre-cut piece of batting. I don't know if you can tell, it's so bright. And then all you do is just take your scraps and just put them on any old way. But see, now what I can do with this is if I want, I can put it under here. Like that. And you can, whoops, and you can just continue until you finish the whole thing. Well, once you finish with that, the next step would be to take that and go to your sewing machine. And you're going to sew. Any old thing, any old way. That's kind of the way I quilt anyway. And I use gold thread, but you can use any color that you want. And you end up with this little batting covered with the front of your postcard. Then when you want to put the postcard together, you take your postcard, and by the way, when you're stamping your postcard, it's best to stamp on the dull side. There's a shiny side and a dull side. The problem with stamping on the shiny side is that it smears. I'm left-handed, so everything smears, but anyway, you don't want schmeary writing. So what you do is you put this on the back, and then I usually put just a couple of drops of glue just to hold it, and then I go around the inside so I can see, or actually the outside would work too. Cut it down, cut all this off to the size that fits the best. They'll be a little bit bigger, which is good. And then you just cut off the ratty edges, turn it over, and then you sew along the outside edge. And then you end up with a postcard. Now, this is not the only thing that you can make. A friend of mine, I sent her a couple of the postcards, one for her birthday and one was a get well or something, and I went to her house and look what I found. She had put them in frames, and they make really nice little gifts. So I started doing that and giving them to people. And then I also have some cards, regular cards, and you can use the same idea and make a Easter card or any kind of a card. I think this one I used for Valentine's Day or a birthday or something, and that's really fun. And for Christmas, this coming year, I'm making cards that look like this. I'm just going to put, some scraps on the front and sew around them. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use the ink along the edges or not. I have 100 to make. I can decide later. And in order to do that one, this is the little steam-a-seam that I use. It's not very big. You can see that. Now, another thing that you can do, remember I told you there was a part on your board, your comic book board at the end? Well, I make twos and froms it out of that. And you can see that I've sewn it a little bit and put it down with steam-a-seam. And anyway, it's cheap, it's fun, and everybody thinks you're clever. Don't you like to be clever sometimes? I don't know. But anyway, I hope that you have fun with this project. I sure have. And if you have any questions, look me up in the roster and give me a call. And all of these things are easy to get. When I was making the rabbit, I went online and I found a drawing that you can get for nothing, actually, and they had everything. They had tulips and alligators and, you just name it, and there's a line drawing for it. And I didn't have to pay for it. And what else is there? I think I've about covered everything. So I just want to say thank you for watching, and I'm glad I finally made this video. Bye.